Well, it's Q&A time. You guys know which episode this is. You guys, there weren't too many philosophical questions actually, and I thought that was well. I shouldn't say there weren't any. I just ended up there were few, and they were just way more personal questions and advice questions. So I just took more of those, and I think that's been the overall trend actually because I've done. See, how many of these have I done? This is number 6 that I've done. And I've found that the philosophical questions are getting less and less in quantity and also kind of quality. But you know, there's like a lot more advice questions as you guys will see in this Q&A. Now, I'm not saying don't ask me philosophical questions because they suck. Like seriously, like I want you guys to like challenge me. Like I think it's pretty good, but there are some questions that you ask and I don't really know when I say that they lack quality, like I don't really know what they're asking. So I don't know. I mean, here's the thing. When you're asking a question, it's easy to know what you think because it's already in your head and you've already formed the situation. But to relay that same idea and thought pattern into another person's mind can be difficult. So I would say try doing that before you send it to me because I can only read the words that you send me. Okay. So yeah, just try doing that. All right, let's get into it. Number 1, I'm graduating next semester with a degree in electrical engineering. Oh, congratulations, man. Okay. Or lady. I'm going to assume a guy though. But I am not ready to pay back all of my loans. How do we, as students, get rid of student loan debt? Okay, so obviously, you pay it off, but I don't think that's what you're asking. I think you're asking, how do we cancel student loan debt? And I don't think we should. I think it's just absolutely wrong to do because we signed our name and we made promises that we would pay back loans. It's a promise that we made, and just because we're getting close to the end, I myself am getting close to the end. And I think about the student loans. I'm like, okay, they're creeping up. They're slowly coming. Sally Mae is on her way. It's just wrong. To have to cancel it, to me, is stealing. It's stealing. Because here's what you're doing. You're going out and you're saying, okay, I can't afford this. Give me money so I can afford this. And this group says, oh, okay, here you go. And then when you finally get the thing that you can afford and you take care of it and then you finish it and they say, okay, give us our money back. And you say, I don't think so. I think that's just wrong. I mean, I hate when students talk about this. And it's like, here's the thing. I'm not a fan of student debt either, but it's what we signed up for. But I'm not a fan of canceling it. It's like this. Look at it from the other side. Or no, just make it personal. Let's say, I mean, think about it. Friendships can end. I've seen friendships end over $50. I've seen friendships end for less than that when it comes to money being owed. People will give someone like $50 and they never get that money back and that relationship is ruined. I mean, how do you feel when you give someone money, they say they'll pay you back and they don't pay you back? You see what I'm saying? Like we try to justify canceling student debt in our own minds, but we really can't do it effectively because it's just wrong. It's just like, oh, I don't want to pay all this money back. Because now it's going the other way. Now we have to give the money. So, I'm going to say this. If you don't want student debt, don't go to school. I mean, congratulations on your, getting your degree. First of all, you're in a great situation. You picked a very good major. Electrical engineering, that is tremendous. I mean, getting into STEM is probably one of the smartest things you could do for financial reasons and also for, job reasons. You'll pretty much always have a job. But I'm going to say this, this is what we sign up for. This is part of the journey. You start school, you go through school, you finish school. And you got to pay it back. I mean, unless you have the money by yourself to just do it. Hey, you just got to think about these things. But I don't think we should cancel student loan debt. I believe that's stealing, and I think that's wrong. If you don't want to pay back student loan debt, just never get student loan debt in the first place. Okay. But anyway, congratulations on getting ready to graduate. That's a good major. And let me just say this. This isn't part of the question. But let me say this. I have a younger audience. Some in high school, some even in middle school, which I find kind of interesting. When you get ready to go to school, if you don't know what you don't want to do, I would strongly advise you, and obviously I'm not your parent, I'm not the one paying, but I would say don't go. If you don't know what you want to do, don't go. Okay? If you know what you want to do, and you know that there's growth in that market that you want to do, then go do that. If you are one of those people who wants to do gender studies or women's studies or ethnic studies, okay, unless you're planning on, those majors are like useless. I would suggest to you, find a major that's useful and that you actually want to do, and you think that you'll actually be good in and enjoy, because you got to balance all of those aspects. Because when it comes to like engineering, like from an economical standpoint, that would be the best thing for me to go into. But I just know that's not something, first of all, that's not something that I would enjoy doing. And it's also something that I wouldn't be good at. And I'd be incompetent. And I wouldn't get job offers. So, balance all of those things. But, it's most important, if you know what you want to do, then go. If you don't know, don't go. Seriously, you don't want to end up being like that seventh year senior that I had last semester, where he was like, yeah, I didn't really know what I wanted to do for a long time. I was just taking courses. Don't be that guy. Don't be that person that just goes to class or just goes to school to take courses. Do not do that. That is a stupid, stupid, stupid idea. And anyone who tells you to do that either did not go to school recently, they're probably a lot older, or they just have no idea how college really works. Okay, so that was a long answer to number 1. Number 2, I know you're really knowledgeable about the Bible, which I think is pretty cool. What is supposed to happen to those who don't accept the mark of the beast? Okay, first of all, I appreciate the compliment, but remember, I'm not really knowledgeable about anything. There's a lot that I know about, but I'm not an expert in anything. But I appreciate that, but it's just, I'm not really knowledgeable about the Bible. There are people who know way more than me concerning the Bible. But in answer to your question, so those who don't accept, and by the way, if you don't know what the mark of the beast is, let me give some background on that. The mark of the beast is, it's pretty much, I believe it's going to be like a chip that's going to be inserted into people. Because that's just the world that we live in now, and it's either going to go in your right hand or in your forehead. And what it is pretty much, you can't live without it. Like not biologically, but just you can't buy, you can't sell, you can't do business. You really can't do anything economically. Like you are out. I mean, you're like pretty much going to be living in the Stone Age in terms of stuff you'll have access to. And also, it's pretty much, I won't get into a bunch of, Revelation, stuff like that. But pretty much this is saying pretty much that you, I won't get into that anyway, but that's what the mark of the beast is. It's pretty much the way of the world. Like the way I think it's going to happen is I think the global economy is just going to have an absolutely unbelievable collapse. Like it's just going to be garbage, and there will be no currency. Like everything's just going to be thrown out the water, and this mark of the beast will be the new currency. And anyway, let me answer the question. What is supposed to happen to those who don't accept the mark of the beast? So those who don't accept it are they're going to be persecuted. They're going to be chased after. They're going to be imprisoned. And if you still choose not to accept it, you will be beheaded. And, by the way, in terms of being beheaded, I'm not saying I want to be here for the tribulation, because first of all, I won't be. And two, being beheaded is not that bad in terms relative to all the other ways you can be killed. Being beheaded is not bad. I'm going to say this. If I had the choice between, lethal injection, electric chair, beheading, being set on, being burned at the stake, or, drowning, I would pick, I'd pick being beheaded. Because, I mean, you're conscious for like 2 seconds. I think you're conscious for like 2 to 5 seconds, and then that's it. Like your body is your body is in shock for like 2 to 5 seconds, and then you're dead. So really, it's not that bad of a deal. But anyway, that's what happens. So yeah, that's what happens. Number 3. Hopefully I think that answered your question. 3. Would you ever cremate your loved ones? Would you ever be cremated? Okay, I gotta say this, man. In terms of cremation, I just find it creepy. I mean, why would you want your loved one's ashes? That's nasty. I don't want to keep a part of, I don't want to keep their remains with me. That's just nasty. I personally don't understand that. Like when my parents go, I won't want that. I just first of all, my siblings and I, we're not going to do that. We're going to bury our parents. But I would never get cremated because it's like, no, that's just weird. Like, why do you want somebody's remains with you? I mean, you can say, oh, I want a piece of them with me. If you want a piece of them with you, I don't know, keep like a really great picture with them, and keep that with you. Or I don't know, I don't know. Like keep something other than their ashes. I just think that's nasty. I wouldn't, and I wouldn't cremate my loved ones, and I would never be cremated. That's nasty. Okay. 4. Do you have any pets? I do not. Would I ever have any? I can't see myself having any, except with the idea, well, except with the, here's the thing. If my wife and children just keep nagging me about it, then I would relent, but it would be their pet. Like, I wouldn't do anything for the pet. I wouldn't feed it. I wouldn't walk it. I wouldn't do anything with it. I would have no relationship with it. Yeah. But no, I don't have any pets. 5. I had an argument with my cousin about cannibalism and how she would do it if she had no choice. She thinks otherwise. What would you do? Okay, so this is a common thing for those when you talk about cannibalism. But, people will say, "Oh, I would never do that. Like, I would never eat a person." Okay. We have this mindset that there were certain things that we would never do, and that's not true. When it comes down to survival and you have no other options, there are things that you would do that would just shock you. Would you eat a person? Yes, you would. If you had no other food, yes, you would. That's just what you would do. Personally, I would. I mean, because here's the thing. We have our primal instinct called self-preservation. Do whatever it takes to live. If it takes me eating a human to live, I'm going to do that. That's just what you would naturally do. Your body doesn't want to die. Death is not desirable. It's like, okay, how do we not die? What's that next to you? Oh, that's a dead person. Well, that's plenty of meat right there. So, your cousin would, and I mean, don't be frustrated with her, because yeah, it's a repulsive idea, and a lot of people would just naturally think that, oh, we would never do that, and that's beneath us. But when worse comes to worse, that's just what you would do. I mean, I ask this, if your family, like, think about this, it's the zombie apocalypse. Like let's say there's a zombie apocalypse. I don't believe one's ever going to happen. But anyway, let's say there's a zombie apocalypse. Okay? If you and your family haven't eaten in 3 days, and your kids are looking at you and they're crying, they're like, and I'm talking to the men here, and obviously, women, this does apply to women, but this is towards men, and they come up to you and they're like, "Daddy, I'm hungry," and you see the fear and the hunger in their eyes, and you look at your wife, and she's starving, and she's trying to be happy, and she's trying to bring, happiness to the situation by, like, comforting the children. Guys, what would we do? We would do whatever it takes to get our kids food. It's just what we would do. I mean, yeah. She would. I mean, people may think that they wouldn't, but they would. Okay. Number 6. Who would you give would you give your phone to someone to go through for an hour? Why or why not? Here's the thing. There's nothing on my phone that's really interesting. I mean, my search history is pretty much just a bunch of, like, articles and stuff for research in terms of, like, my books and my writings. But I just wouldn't give up my phone because it's mine. It's that simple. Like, I look at it this way. I wouldn't want anyone else's phone. Like, let me say this. You don't want to know what's on other people's phones. You just don't. It's just, the saying is ignorance is bliss. And in some cases, that is true. That comes to the case when it comes to technology and, seeing, oh, what does this person looked at? Okay, you don't want to know. People are weird. Like, they just are. And you just don't want to. I just don't know why you would want to go through someone's phone. I mean, you have to see, like, are they being loyal and stuff like that? Even then, it's like, if you have to ask yourself that, and you have to actually go through their phone to trust them, you shouldn't be in a relationship with that person. But no, I wouldn't give my phone to someone to look through for an hour. They wouldn't find anything, but it's like, no, that's my phone. You can't have it. Number 7. Who was your first crush ever? Why did you like them? My first crush ever was this girl, in kindergarten. Her name was Jordan Draper. And I thought she was, super, just really cute. Like, she had these older sisters who were just so good looking. And, they all look alike. And they're probably like, well, I believe the two oldest ones are married. I don't think Jordan's married because she's my age. I mean, she could be. But, I just thought that she was really cute. She had freckles. She had nice hair. It was pretty shallow. But I just thought she was really cute. I don't know. I thought she was good looking. And that pretty much started my attraction to white girls, I guess, because Jordan, she was white. And I think I've shared this story before, but I'm not sure. When I liked her, I was kind of confused because I was like, I don't know if it's okay for me. Because I didn't use the terms black, white, and Mexican like that. Like, I didn't use ethnic terms. I used crayon colors. And so I said, well, I don't know if browns can like peaches. And obviously, white people, you would color them peach if you were drawing them and stuff like that. And so I said, well, I don't know if browns can like peaches. And I kind of looked at my parents. I'm like, okay, well, they're both brown. Her parents, her mom was tall, by the way, like really tall. But I was like, well, peaches, her parents are both peach. And I would see other married couples, drop off their kids, and I'd be like, oh, they're this, they're that. And a big portion of what I saw were people were couples who were of the same ethnicity. And so I just thought, well, maybe I just shouldn't share this with anyone. I think I told my two best friends at the time that I liked her. But I don't remember, like, it was a while ago. And just with my idea about, the idea of a black guy liking a white girl, I think I kept that to myself. Because I think I was confused and I felt a little bit ashamed. Because I was like, why do I like this person who's not my color? But anyway, yeah, that was my first, Jordan Draper. I wonder how she is. I think it'd be kind of cool to just run into some of these people. And I think if I ran into Jordan, I probably would tell her, and like I'd be like, I actually used to like you. And I don't know, I would just want to see her reaction. I don't know. She's probably got a boyfriend though, or she's engaged. Okay, number 8. What is your opinion of guys sagging? Jesus. Okay, I gotta say this. I don't understand why guys sag. I say it this way. from an aesthetic point of view, it doesn't hold up. It just looks bad. Okay? From a just wearing, just put the waistband, just put it around your waist. I don't understand, like, why would you want your clothes? I don't understand. Why would you incorrectly wear clothes? I don't understand it. Like, I think it looks weird. I think it's super annoying. It's like, I just don't know like, what would make me think? I'm getting dressed, and I try it, and I'm like, okay, all right, let's make sure they're down here where they're not supposed to be, and then let's try walking. I just don't understand sagging. I've never understood it. I find it super annoying. Like, super annoying. Guys sagging, I don't know. And ladies, when I see you liking a guy that sags or dating one, I'm just curious, why are you with that dude? Like just visually, it's like, come on, man. Like, just wear your pants the way the way that they're supposed to be worn. All right. Yeah, I just find it, I don't know, it's so irritating to me. Like, I've never tried it. Like, there have been times where I forgot a belt, and I had to walk around and pretty much hold my pants up as I walked. It was the worst. Like, it's the worst thing ever. Like, you can't focus on conversation. You gotta focus on, keeping your pants up. And it's like, something so basic. It's just super annoying. I don't get it. All right, number 9. I know you are excited about marriage. Yes, I am. How much younger do you want your spouse to be, or older? Okay, so I wouldn't marry someone older. I wouldn't do that. How much younger do you want your spouse to be? Wow. I would probably say if I see, here's the thing. And don't make this isn't a pedophile thing, okay? I like younger girls. I like girls who, like, ideally, like, I would like to marry someone who's 5 years younger than me. And right now, that person would be 15, which is obviously illegal in this state. But I think 5 years is like a good age, like 4 or 5 years. Cause I look at my parents. So my dad's 73. My mom is 57. To me, I just look at my dad and my mom and I'm like, could I marry someone who is 16 years younger than me? And I don't think I could. I don't think I could. I mean, unless I was just marrying for looks. Like, if I was just trying to find, like, a really good-looking woman. Just, like, a trophy wife. That's the only way I could do it. But I would say about 4 to 5 years. And, yeah, that's what I want. I don't know if that'll actually happen. But if it's a 4 to 5 year gap, like, that'd be good for me. 10. In one of your episodes, you talked about how some people just don't have friends and can't make friends. And the idea that it's not actually, wait, I gotta go back. This thing is bugging me in my head. Okay. I talked about the pedophile thing. Okay. I'm not going after girls that are 15. I'm not. I'm just pretty much waiting. I'm pretty much waiting for myself to age and they get to the point where they're 18. That's pretty much what I'm doing. Like, I'm not hanging around high school campuses. Like, I'm not doing that. Because I don't want this episode to be heard and like, oh my god, this guy's a pedophile. Like, we got to call the police on this guy. I'm not doing that. I would just prefer girls who are like 4 to 5 years younger than me. So right now they'd be 15 or 16. Okay? So I'm pretty much just waiting until I'm like, 22. So pretty much when I'm out of college and they are just starting college. That's pretty much what I'm looking for. All right. So to recap, I am not a pedophile. Okay. In one of your episodes, you talked about how some people just don't have friends and can't make friends, and the idea that it's natural. Explain that. Some people don't have friends and some people can't make friends, and that it's natural. Okay, I think I know what episode you're talking about. And I think I know what statement you're talking about. Okay, so, here's the thing. Some people just aren't sociable. Some people you don't want to be around them. And this is an extreme example, but take like school shooters. Like, these people don't have friends. These are, the social pariahs of the school. It's like, oh, okay, we all know who that is, but, no one really hangs out with that person. So when I say it's natural, it's like there are just certain people who they just don't have friends. And they can't make friends because people just naturally are selective of who they want to be around. There are some people I see, it's like this. It's like a crackhead. When you see a crackhead and they're doing their thing and they're acting crazy, you don't want to be around that person. You get away from them because it's like, no, I don't think so. Like when you find someone that you don't want to be around, you don't go around that person. And then there are these people there are a lot of people who think the same way, and usually it's that person's fault. It's like it's because there's a reason people don't want to hang out with you. When there's a bunch of people who have this idea and have this feeling about you and they don't want to be around you, it's probably because of you. You're actually probably the reason. Like, people say, oh, go up and be a buddy. It's like, okay, no. This person that no one wants to be around, that nobody likes, should probably change how they're functioning. They should probably change how they, how they do things. They should probably change how they interact with other people. That's just what it is. But yeah, that's pretty much that idea. And, it is what it is. Cause most people they can easily make friends, and they can have people who people want to be around them, and stuff like that. That's just what I would do. Yeah. Number 11. Hope you had a great Thanksgiving. My dad has this horrible tradition of going through the history of Thanksgiving. It's super annoying and I think it's pointless. Is he doing too much? Oh no. No, that's going to be my thing as a dad. When a holiday comes up, I'm going to talk, especially Thanksgiving and things like Thanksgiving and Christmas. Like, I'll say this. My dad, when it comes to Christmas, on Christmas Day, we have this tradition of reading the birth of Jesus, the story of the birth of Jesus. Why? Because that's the number one reason for the holiday. That's why the holiday exists. You have to see, here's the thing. When we just take holidays and we just look, oh my God, no school. That's a bad way to look at things. No school, no work. No, that's a bad way to look at things. It's like, okay, why do we have this day off? Why is this day so special? What is this day for? How did this day get started? That's what's important. I think more families should do this. Go over the reason we have the holiday. Go over the history of it. I think your dad is doing a tremendous thing. Like, I'm gonna be that dad. Um, you know, when it comes to when major holidays hit, explaining the background. Um, and here's the thing. If he's going on for like 10 minutes, then that's kind of annoying because it's like, okay, we're trying to eat. But it's like, what you gotta do, you gotta give the basic history and the reason why we have the holiday. You can do that in like under a minute. So just off the fly right here, all right, this would be my Thanksgiving thing. In the year 1621, the great Indian chief Massasoit brought a lot of, I think 90 of his bravest warriors, his bravest Indians, and they brought an abundance of food, and there was, a great feast, and there was Minister William Brewster who gave a prayer that was, saying, okay, thank you for, thanking God for, the new land, the new opportunity, and their safety and all of that. And, that would just be the basic history of the feast. And I don't know, I think that just took like 20, 30 seconds. I don't know. But, anyway, I think more people should do that. Seriously, like, I think people should take their, like, know why you have the holiday. Like, go into the history of it. Understand it. Okay? Like, you have Columbus Day. Columbus just gets bagged on so badly. And it's like, it's not like Indigenous Peoples Day. And it's like, okay. First of all, a lot of what we know about Columbus is like third hand, like it's information that is so far removed. Like, people think he just came here and just killed, like they just try to kill everybody. Okay, no, that's not what they try to do. You go into the history of these things. But anyway, I think it is important. Okay. Anyway, I hope you had a great Thanksgiving too. I did. 12. How long should a couple wait after engagement to get married? I gotta say this about dating. Here's the thing. There are factors that go into it. First you gotta look at finances. It's like, okay, am I financially stable enough to take care of at least myself, and could I support someone else if something bad happens? Okay, so that's a factor. Another factor. Okay, do you want to marry this person? Do they want to marry me? Do you guys know what you want to do? Do you guys know what you want to do in life? Do you guys have a plan? Because here's my thing. I want to get married young, and I want to have kids young. And primarily that's due to the fact that I want to be young and enjoy my children while I'm young. I don't like the idea of having a huge generational gap between myself and my kids. My dad is almost a silent generation. My dad was born in 1946. I was born in 1999. That is 53 years. Like that's a 53-year gap where you are a middle-aged man and you just had a son, and it's like that's a huge gap. And so I think you have to know if you guys are walking, in step. Cuz here's the thing. If you are financially able to do it, both of you are in financially good places. You guys have your goals in common. I say go for it. Some say, oh, you should wait. You should wait like an extra year. And it's like, that to me is just dumb. Like, waiting just to wait is stupid. Seriously. Because here's the thing. First of all, you don't know how long you have to live. I'm not saying you're just going to drop dead. I'm just saying, like, you don't know what could happen. And I think if you're in a solid place financially, and you guys are walking, you guys are walking in step, you guys pretty much have the same goals and are aligned, and you guys love each other, and you want to start a life together, I say go ahead. I don't think there's a certain amount of time. I think it depends on the couple. But finances are, key. And also, cause my parents, let's see, if I remember correctly, they dated. No, they don't consider themselves to have dated. But they were engaged for 14 months and then they got married. I'm not entirely sure why they waited 14 months. But they did. And I don't know. I guess my answer is just if you're ready and you're able to do it, do it. Waiting just to wait is ridiculous. Now statistically there are certain ages where, it's better to get married than not. Like obviously, teenage marriage is just a horrible, horrible idea. You have people who, the best time to get married, because here's the thing. Millennial men are getting married, at like 30, and then millennial women are getting married at 27. That's pretty good. It's not too young. It's not too old. Personally, I would like to have kids by the time I'm 30, but that's just me. I don't know. I think it depends. Yeah. Hopefully that answers your question. But just make sure that, financially you're ready and that your guys' plans are aligned and stuff like that, and your guys' goals are aligned. Do it. Okay. 13. I believe that you'll be famous by the time you hit 30. Do you think so? I don't know about the idea of me being famous. Like famous for what? By the time okay, so like let's say this podcast blows up. It's like, okay, that's possible. Could I be famous by the time I'm 30? I could. Do I think I'll be famous? I don't know. I don't know. I don't really think about fame. It's possible that I am. That I do get famous, but I don't know. Would I like to be famous? I don't know. It has its pros and cons. And fame is relative. Like there are certain people, like last week I was in class, and I guess there's this rapper named Ja Rule, who I had no clue who that was. And like we were watching like a clip from a documentary, and he was in it, and people just casually just kept saying his name, and like he was showing up in the documentary. And then we had a discussion about it afterwards. People were asking questions, and I just raised my hand and I was like, look, I don't know who this guy is. Who is Ja Rule? So I think fame is relative. Would I like to be famous? I would rather be rich than, I'd rather be rich than famous, because I don't I don't know. I don't know. This is strange. This isn't a hard question. Do I think I'll be famous by the time I'm 30? No, I don't. There's the answer to your question. I mean, if I was famous, if I do become famous, I mean, I guess. I mean, it's whatever. I mean, it's gonna have its pros and cons. But, hopefully with the fame, if I'm gonna be famous, I would like to also have wealth along with that. Yeah, there's your answer. 14. If everybody on the planet suddenly turned good, what do you think you would do first? Okay, so this question, I can't even envision this, because the idea of everybody, based on what I believe, and here's the thing, define good. Like, what is good? Like people in their own eyes, most people don't see themselves as evil. Most people see themselves as good and living correctly. Like, if you did a survey of everyone in the world, and the survey was simply, do you think that you're a good person? People would say yes. No, I mean, no one's going to say no. Or, I mean, very few are going to say no. But if everyone, I don't know. I don't think I would do anything. I seriously I wouldn't trust people. Because, see, here's the thing. People, it's like this. People, by nature, are selfish, which, isn't actually a bad thing. I mean, it can be when you are focused on yourself all the time. But people naturally, maybe not selfish, but people naturally act in their own self-interest, which isn't a bad thing. But I don't think I would do, I don't know. I think I'd have a hard time trusting people, because I'd be like, okay, why is this person all of a sudden just quote unquote good? Like, why did their behavior change like this? Yeah. So I think that's what I would do first. I would just start questioning people. I would be really, really doubtful. I would kind of be waiting for things to just go like really, really bad all of a sudden. Because I'd be like, okay, problems just naturally just disappeared. The only place that's supposed to happen is heaven, where there's no problems, no famine, no war, no sickness, no disease, no tears, no negativity in heaven. I mean, while we're on this earth, there's going to be bad people, there's going to be bad things. So I would just be really weirded out, and I wouldn't buy it. I wouldn't believe it. Okay. 15. Are you currently crushing on anybody? Not at the moment. Here's the thing. Usually when a semester starts, I go around, whatchamacallit. I don't go around, but I'm in my classes and I'm thinking, okay, I look at, like, the first week I'm looking at girls and I'm like, okay, so this person's attractive, this person's attractive, this person's attractive, just trying to find the best place to sit, and also being able to have access to talk to these, physically attractive girls. Because I mean that's the first part of attraction. You got to look at the person, and if they ugly, you don't want to be around them. But usually every semester I tend to have a crush. This semester I didn't. Or I should say this: I had a very small one, and it went away pretty quickly. But it wasn't like a serious thing. So no, I'm not currently crushing on anybody, and that's probably going to be true for the rest of the semester, unless some girl just comes up to me and we just hit it off exceptionally well? Yeah. But the answer currently is no. 16. Do you face a lot of flack for your opinions? I don't agree with a lot of what you say, but I'm too nervous to express my opinions on matters like you do. Here's the thing. Relatively, my audience is small compared to other podcasts and other places like that. It's growing for sure. And I'm super grateful for that. I think it's really great. But overall, when you say, do I face a lot of flack? I would say no. And here's the thing. When it comes to people not liking what I say, I really don't care. Because here's what you have to understand. No matter where you stand on a subject, people are going to disagree with you. People are gonna say, oh, you're a bad person. I don't like you. I really don't care. I don't think about it. It is what it is. I wouldn't say I face a lot of it. Because there are people like Ben Shapiro who face, probably tons of hate mail, tons of negative comments on YouTube, death threats, people chanting and trying to scream in your face and interrupting your speeches. So, I don't get any of that, really. So, I wouldn't say I face a lot. I do have people who say, yeah, dude, you totally got this wrong. Or oh my gosh, you're a bad person. But it's very little. I would say it's very little compared to what other people get. So, and I appreciate you saying that, you don't agree with me. That's really cool. I admire you for being honest about that. But don't be afraid to express your opinions. You should. Because remember, whatever you believe, someone's gonna think you're wrong. So just do it. Here's the thing. It's good to know where people stand. Here's the thing. People may not like you, but they will respect you. I'd rather take someone who's willing to be open and honest about their opinions and their beliefs, and they are completely and totally contradictory to mine. I will respect that person more than a person who I believe is on my side, but they don't say anything, and they just keep quiet. It's better to know where people are on a matter. So, yeah, don't be afraid to share your opinions. Okay. 17. I'm thinking of proposing to my boyfriend. Should I do it? The idea of a woman proposing to a man. Well, I gotta start personally. Personally. I would hate for my girlfriend to propose to me. Here's the way I look at it. It is the man's job to pursue the woman. It is the man's job to ask her to be his wife. That's what I believe. There will come a woman along in my life. I don't know when. Hopefully it's soon that I meet him, develop a relationship with him, a friendship, and then, we go from a platonic relationship to a romantic relationship, and then, I propose to her. Because it's like, okay, you are the person that, because here's the thing. Ultimately, women are the ones who do the selecting in our society. Because remember, and this is a very primal, example. But sperm is cheap, eggs are expensive. So the guy is going up to the woman and saying, okay, I want to spend the rest of my life with you. I want you, I want to have children with you. I want my sperm to go with your eggs. Okay? My sperm is cheap. Like, I can impregnate every single woman on the planet that's fertile. Easily. But women don't have a lot of eggs, and so it's like what their resource is more valuable. So it's the guy having to go. I believe the guy should have to go after the girl. That's just what I believe. But society is changing. Social norms are changing. I've had girls come up to me and say, "Oh, you're cute. I mean, it's rare." Well, they don't say. That's not the first thing they say. The first thing that they usually say is like, "Oh, you're funny, and I like your sense of humor, and you're really smart." Usually, it's stuff like that. When women approach me and stuff like that. But overall, I believe it's the guy's job to propose. So there are also other questions that I have for you. How long have you been with this guy? Do you know if he wants to marry you? Because it's like this. I look at it this way. I know what I said earlier in my other answer about how long a couple should wait after engagement to get married. But here's the thing. When it comes to dating, it's like, okay, to me, I want to make it clear pretty early that this is the girl that I want to spend the rest of my life with and have a family with. So, I mean, how long have you guys been dating? Because if it's been like, I don't know. Because, I mean, your age is like... And here's the thing. As a woman, I think as a woman, it just looks more desperate when you ask. And I say that because here's the thing. I don't know if you want kids or whatever, but I'm going to assume that you do, because and the reason I'm assuming that is because most adults consider success to be being a parent. They tie in being a parent to success. Okay, so I'm just going to assume you have kids. So as a woman, you have a biological clock that is ticking down every single second. So you have to deal with that. So I would say, should I do it? I would say wait for him. I would say, I just don't know enough details about your relationship. But anyway, that's what I would say. 18. I know you love your snow bunnies. Why do some black guys like white girls? Not to sound racist, but they are basic. Okay. Whenever it comes to saying that, like, white, I hear this a lot, that white girls are basic. I don't know what that means. I seriously don't know what that means. Why do some black guys like white girls? I look at it this way. When it comes, I think there's a lot that goes into it. I think, personally, the reason why I like white girls, is because I just like, well, this is an interesting question. Actually, you know what? I actually plan to write a book on this one day. So I could write, you know what? I'm not going to answer this question. I apologize. I thought this was really good, but you know what? This is a really deep answer. What I'm probably going to do, I'm probably going to take an episode and just break it down at the most basic level, and then I'm going to write a book on it one day. Cause I could really go into this, but I'm already at like an hour right now. Why do some black guys like white girls? Oh man, I mean, I have the whole process laid out. And you know, my reasons for it. And, you know, but I don't have the time. Like it needs to be an episode by itself. So I'm going to make a note to myself to answer this question in an episode by itself. All right. 19. So, you know, sorry for the delay for the answer to your question, but, you know, just wait for that episode and you'll know which episode it is because I'm going to label it clearly. It's probably going to be like, it's probably going to be why some black guys like white girls. Okay. 19. I'm going to my first family reunion. I feel nervous. Is that normal? I gotta be honest, mate. I've never been to a family reunion. When it comes to my family, I don't really know my family on either side that well. I mean, I know more my mom's side than my dad's side. My mom has more siblings. But I gotta be honest, when it comes to family reunions, I've never been to one. Hopefully the family that I start, hopefully we can go, because here's what I'm trying to do. Me, my sister, and my brother, we talked about this years ago, but we said that we wanted to have a tradition of like a green family reunion, where it's just like, it would pretty much stem from myself, my sister, and my brother and our families, and then we would go from there. So I mean, I think it's okay to feel nervous because you're gonna meet people who you've never met before. So yeah, I mean, it's normal. I think that's fine. Last question, and I thank you guys for bearing with me on this. This went on pretty long. Would you ever become a psychologist? I think you would be very good at it. Oh, I've thought about it many times. Oh yeah, and here's the thing. I think I'd be good at it too. I detach very easily. I'd be a great clinical psychologist. Because people could tell me, and this actually happens kind of often. People tell me their problems. I listen. And they just get it out. And I mean, some people tell me some pretty dark stuff. And some other people tell me, you know, they ask for advice and stuff like that. But I have thought about it. And would I ever become one? I don't think so. But I think what I would do, I think I would become that person in the family who, like, if someone wants advice or someone just needs to like sit down and talk to for a little bit, I would like to be that guy. So anyway, would I ever become one? Not formally. But anyway, that's the episode. And so thank you guys for listening. I don't know when I'm going to do that black guy and white girl episode yet. But you will know when I do.